I hope that by now you have been desensitized to the word sales. Sales, 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 sales. There you go. I've said it enough times now. You need to get over it. It's not a big deal, right? When you value what you do, when you value who you are, when you know what you've got to sell is, you know, a really exciting, valuable product or service or package or whatever it is, program, then there's no reason that you can't be happy to use the word sales conversation. You know, can we have a chat about how we might work together? If you want to, and you and I do, like, as you guys all know, I'm running a retreat in late November, and it's actually called Collaborative Converting Conversations, because I do actually think that there are a few elements that go into a really powerful sales conversation, and collaboration has to be one of them. It has to be that, you know, it's a mutual benefit to both of you. Conversions are important, right? So it's a converting conversation. It has to take them from point A to point B, and there has to be money at the other end of it. Like, you know, here's some cash to do the work with me. And it's a conversation. There's two people involved in this. It's not a pushy push fest. It's not a ball breaking, make you feel miserable about your life, drive the knife into your pain and make you kind of bleed out about it, and then never help you out about how we're actually going to kind of solve the problems that you've been talking about today. So it's all about helping them take action, which is exactly what we're talking about today. Action. So let me know, guys, how do your conversations, which in your mind you intend to be a sales conversation, actually end up? Like, what happens at the end? Type into your comments what happens at the end of your conversations. I'm just going to turn the heater off. It's actually not that cold. Yeah, tell me how you kind of finish the conversation. Are you asking for credit card details? Are you asking for deposits and I'll invoice you? Are you saying, cool, okay, well, you know, okay, yeah, so we'll talk about it again sometime soon. All right, cool, see you later. Or are you putting like a, you know, right, so let's make it another time to chat, 2 o'clock on Wednesday, you know, or giving them some sort of directive. Like, I want to know. Type into the comments what you guys are doing to finish up a sales conversation. So many people get to the end of a really powerful conversation. They've created a great vision about how they're going to work together, and then they don't give the person any sort of directive about the next step, right? That's very obviously one of the key components that's missing out of a really good collaborative converting conversation, is actually get them to take action. Now, what I want you to reframe on this is, oh my God, when I get to the point of asking credit card or cash or debit card or, you know, that sort of thing, oh my God, that's where it gets pushy and X, Y, Z. But in fact, you'd be doing your client, potential client or a prospect, a disservice if you don't coach them through how to take the next steps on the thing that you've created together. And what I mean by that is, like, here you are, you've held the space for like half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour by now on the call, right? And they've told you all of their problems and why they haven't been able to solve them in the past, and what's kind of missing for them and what they still need help with. And you've said, great, you know, okay, so there's a whole bunch of ways that you can kind of, you know, go about this, but what about if we solve that problem first, and then look at that big rosy future that now opens up for you if we solve that problem, and then it's like, okay, cool, you know, you breathe a bit more life into that vision and you build all of that out, and now they've fallen in love with that, right? They've fallen in love with the potential of working with you, of traveling with you, of buying some stuff from you, you know. You've made them fall in love with that, and now you're kind of like, okay, so, you know, yeah, catch you later, and that's it. So that's never going to work. They are looking up to you. In that moment, you have actually painted yourself as an expert, and you know, the one that the knower of all things. So you'd be completely mad not to continue along that line and get them to, you know, let them experience you coaching them through taking the next step. So with me, when I finished on a call with somebody, and I'm like, you know, would you, my question basically is, so, you know, that's, you've done it, we've talked about all of that, we've painted out this vision, this is how I think we could go, da, 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 da. At the end of it, I say, so if I could help you with all that, would you like to work with me? And someone would say, yeah, sure, I'd love to. I wouldn't just kind of leave it at that. Like the next step is like, cool, okay, so what needs to happen is today you need to put down a 50% deposit. Usually we do that over credit cards. If you want to grab that out, and then the next step is you're going to get a welcome email from us where you have an agreement to sign. So I've got all of the steps post the sale completely and utterly mapped out, so that it just sounds like exactly a continuation of the vision that we created together while we were talking five minutes earlier, right? I get them into action straight away. I get them homework straight away. I get them to go off and start doing some market research straight away, or doing something differently so that the coaching continues, you know? So having your post-sale system, step-by-step system kind of mapped out, and your onboarding of your client somehow completely mapped out, and giving them expectations of exactly what to expect is going to be the key component of getting people to take action, right? And also the cool thing about that is when you actually start to tell them what it's gonna look like after the call's finished, what it does is it allows the opportunity for you to make sure that the sale is truly made. Because it's very easy for somebody if you haven't asked for credit card details, particularly if you're sending out an invoice post the call and not getting any sort of firm, like, money has gone through the bank, because that's almost like, for people, that's like, okay, well, it's done now, you know. But anything prior to that, if it's just an agreement, or if it's, oh yes, I'll send you an invoice, the sale isn't necessarily made, right? And actually sometimes when you've taken a deposit with a credit card, the sale is still not necessarily made. Someone still might freak out the next day and come back and go, actually, that one made a crazy mistake, I want my money back. So to make sure the sale is actually made, having those steps mapped out of what happens post the call is exactly where you're allowing that space for all of their objections to come up. Like, don't rush this part. Slow right down and give it step by step by step, because it allows them to kind of go, oh yeah, right. Actually, you know what? So with that agreement, so what does that actually mean? And they get to ask all of those questions. You don't want to kind of just send them off into the ether and have to figure all that stuff out. As long as they're on their own and not being handheld in that part, that's where they're going to get into their own head and change their minds, you know? So being really powerful in the delivery of the post-call onboarding system allows a couple of things. It allows you space and time to make sure that any concerns of theirs are actually being raised now while you're on the phone with them. And the second thing is, it really that subsequently then makes sure that the sale is actually made, you know, and there's not going to be a likelihood of backing out or anyone kind of, you know, having a little hissy fit afterwards. So now, actually getting action and getting credit card details. Many people that I work with don't have credit card facilities. There's some really great apps and things like that. I mean, you can get PayPal app just on your phone. You could process their credit card then and there on your phone. There's also a thing called Square, which is a little card reader that you could that you can again just use the app on your phone to process payments. Like, go to the farmers market, see what those people are doing for mobile payments, so that you can actually process it then and there. I usually stay on the phone with people and make sure their credit card has actually gone through, because again, in my industry, sometimes when their credit card bounces, it means that they haven't actually really made the decision. They've kind of you know, it's the opportunity for us to have another conversation around, okay, because I'm a business coach, right? If your credit card bounces, then I know that you don't have money, which means you really need a coach. So that kind of brings up that opportunity for us to talk about that as well. So it's different for every industry exactly how you do what you do, but I think that taking a credit card over the phone as a commitment is absolutely, well, you're well within your rights to do that, and it allows what it does is it brings up people's money shit and, oh my God, I am actually committing to this, which then makes that conversation have to happen now while you're on the phone to them instead of later. So Belle said, so Belle's in my mentorship program, so some of her comments are going to be irrelevant to some of you and relevant to others. So Belle says that she's putting an ad out at the moment on our advice and giving away some free information around some bucket list travel destinations, and she's then picking up the phone and calling people out of the blue and having a conversation. And they then are saying to her when she calls them, oh, I haven't read it yet. So Belle, at that point, I'm assuming you're just going, oh, okay, no worries, I'll call you next week when you have. No, don't do that. Stay on the phone, build rapport, push through, get to the first 20 minutes of the conversation under your belt and say, cool, well, let me talk you through it. So really, yeah, there's a bunch of places, Cambodia, this, that, the other thing. Anyway, where have you always wanted to go? What pushes your buttons? What do you, why are you even downloading a bucket listing? Has something changed in your life? Like, where are you up to? Have you got all of a sudden got some time or money or additional freedom that you didn't have before, that you really are considering this? Or did you just kind of download it because you're thinking one day? And if it is one day, when is one day for you? You know, like, you've got to start coaching them, Belle, coaching them on bringing this to the front of their priority heap instead of going, oh yeah, one day. Don't let them get away with that. Like, turn into a coach here and just keep them on the phone, build rapport. Everyone that is giving away any sort of free information in return for a name, email address and phone number, and you've got those phone numbers, you just pick up the phone and you just build rapport. It is literally just bait to get somebody's phone number. Most of the time they won't even open up the email. So, you know, you absolutely do not have to go, oh yeah, right, okay, so you didn't remember downloading it, okay, no worries, see you later. Or, oh, you know, you downloaded but you haven't read it, okay, cool, no, I'll call you next week. No way. No, you've got them on the phone. Just start building rapport, asking those interest gathering questions that give you an idea of whether they're in your target market or not. And then they say they can't wait to get off the phone. Both I've got onto so far, can't talk right now, walking into an appointment. Yeah, okay, cool. If they're walking into an appointment, then it's you know, they're walking into an appointment. Sometimes that's probably bullshit, sometimes it's not. But if they can't wait to get off the phone, but they aren't actually giving you an excuse to get off the phone, then I would absolutely just call them on that and just say, hey, look, it sounds like you really, you know, you're feeling a bit awkward about this call. You know what? So am I, to be honest. Like, I don't normally pick up the phone and have a chat with people, but what I've really found is that people that desperately want to go on holidays are just so good at putting it off and ever actually making the decision. And it just stays there as this pipe dream for them. And I've decided to be the travel agent that doesn't give up on people. Like, I've decided to be that person that helps people. Like, what we do differently here at Trailblazers is actually coach and support you through to taking a really big leap of faith, and getting on a plane and going to a place that you may never have considered going on your own. And I've just decided that I'm going to be a stand for people bloody doing that, you know. So I know it seems crazy that this travel agent's kind of called you out of nowhere to see if you enjoyed a PDF that I download, but that's just the beginning. I just want to build a relationship with you and take care of all your travel, however it may look for you, and get you doing the things that you've always really wanted to do. So do you mind if we keep having you know, a bit of a chat around that? Like, that would be kind of a game changer, wouldn't it? You know, and go from there. Yeah, this is what I mean. You guys can transform your customer service by picking up the phone and talking to people, by doing things differently, by being the person that doesn't give up on people, by giving people homework or home play that they would never have got from another photographer. That's what's going to stand you out from the crowd, right? That's what's your unique edge. That's your magic. Like, that's where you kind of come in and go, cool, this is like, this is my competitive difference. I mean, us in our business, Sarah and Amanda and Tim and Dawn and I, we've decided we're going to be business coaches that don't fucking give up on people. We're going to, Sarah said to me, you know what? I'm going to keep dialing people until they actually say, fuck off, don't ever ring me again. So when people say to me, you know, how many times should I ring someone, you know, before I leave a message, or should I keep calling? Should I keep calling? Yes, just keep calling. Sarah had a conversation with someone at her old job, and she rang that person 11 times. And I think that might have even been 11 separate conversations where the woman was like, I'm too busy, I'm running into an appointment, oh, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Until she finally got onto this woman and had a proper conversation with her. And that woman's like, thank you for not giving up on me. My life was just so hectic for the last 3 months. I feel so bad that we haven't actually had this conversation, but thank you for being the person that didn't give up on me. So don't think that you're being annoying. You're just being a stand for what they're saying that they want. you know. And if you've had enough conversation with them, Belle, to hear that they do want to go on a bucket list holiday one time, then, you know, be a stand for helping them make it happen. Like, you know what, like say, you know what, I'm going to be here no matter what. If you haven't had booked in some sort of holiday by the end of 2020, I'm going to annoy the crap out of you on the phone until you do. You're going to have to block my phone number. Like, make it light, make it funny, laugh, you know. This is the sort of stuff that you guys can do. You don't have to do the same thing that everyone else does. Leaving a message, you know, I put in our mentorship group the other day, when I leave a message on a phone call, I always leave something crazy and funny. So this is mine goes something like this. Hello, is that Belle Roach? I believe I have your phone number, Belle Roach. This is Kath. I am calling you because what you did the other day was absolutely insane. What a clever woman you are. You are completely mad for getting involved with somebody like me, I'm sure. But anyway, look, we really need to have a conversation because you kickstarted something right here, and we've got to pick this up and keep going with it. So give me a call back. My number's da-da-da-da-da. I don't say where I'm from. I don't say, you know, like that's just, you know, I'm just totally shooting from the hip there. I just go crazy. I scream and yell. I do all sorts of bonkers things because they're just like, no one ever fucking does that. Like, because the other alternative is, hi, this is Kath calling from kathclark.com. I noticed that you downloaded a PDF of mine the other day, and I'm ringing just to see how you're going with your business and marketing. I'm wondering if there might be some way we can help you. If you'd like to give me a call back, fucking boring! I'm never going to call that person back. That's just like, to me, that sounds like a call center. I expect to hear 58,000 Indian people in the background screaming and yelling over the top of each other in the background of that message, you know? So don't do it. Be different. Be creative, for the love of God. Now, the other thing I want to cover off in this particular piece of training is about the energy that you're in. But if I'm on the phone and in rapport with somebody, then I would be mimicking their body language, like, you know, and I get you're on the phone, so you can't see their body language, but their energetic kind of state. But also in some situations, I might kind of use some different energies to bring the frequency up a little bit if they are very defensive or whatever. I'm not scared to have tough conversations. If someone's being defensive and blocking in their energy on the phone, I'll just call them on it. Say, so what's going on with that? Like, you know, is this conversation annoying you? You know, and they'll be like, oh yeah, actually it is. I'm like, cool. Is it my voice? Am I too loud? I'm so sorry. Like, what's going on for you? Are you really busy? Like, just where are you at? You know, I'm interested. I'm curious. I ask questions. I work out why. Put them on the spot, man. Make them say what they think, because first and foremost, most people will not do that. They know what they're going to get with you. It may feel like, and all of that, what I want to say is all of those questions are great questions to ask and be vulnerable and brave and all those things to do that stuff. But if you're not in the right energy when you say it, that kind of reflects theirs, but is next level up, and as well as 5 power energies that I'm going to teach you right now, then it can land really badly, you know, and you've got to be careful of that. So at the sales retreat, which is the 18th to the 21st of November, up in Kinglake, where we have bonfires and wine and cheese and lovely local caterers and get to pat border collies and all those sorts of things, and you learn all of this in detail, and you learn my concern handling framework, that is a super powerful way of handling any money, partner, energy, time, credibility, or trust issue kind of concerns that people throw at you, or any concern really, but they all fall under those 6 categories. Which is what gets you the sale most of the time, right? You can have a really powerful script, you can go through all of that, and someone might be in the right state and say yes, but most of the time someone's shit is going to come up and you're going to have to help coach them on that. So there's a couple of different energies that are really powerful for sales conversations. One of them is the warrioress energy. These are a series of women's power type cards. Now they apply to men too. So the warrioress would be the warrior. And I'll go through them all with you. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with them, and it's actually something that you have to kind of come to the retreat to experience, to be frank, because I have to kind of get you into state and do a little bit kind of meditation stuff with you so you can feel the energies of them. We did some kind of crazy stuff with these energies and had a bit of fun with them. But there's a real, sometimes there's a real kind of warrior-esque kind of action energy that you need to bring into the call. And there's certain times in the call where that's going to be super appropriate. So I would love to teach you more about exactly what that warrior-esque or warrior energy is and how it feels in your body, because a lot of the time you don't actually know, you know, like when you're busy trying to get out of your own head and stop putting your own crap into the conversation, you kind of need to method act something until you can feel it yourself. It might, like, because these are teaching tools from my other business, one of many.co.uk, the other business that I've got with my sister, and we created these so that people could have like a mechanism to understand what different energies feel like through, you know, like conversations with loved ones, leadership conversations with teams, things like that. But but it works really well for sales conversations too. So, and different people have a different default position on the energy that they naturally show up in. I show up in a lot of warrior-esque energy. I'm an action taker. I get shit done. Sometimes I'm overexpressed in warrior-esque. Other people show up a lot in mother energy. This is the mother energy. And there's a time and place for mother energy, which is that kind of nurturing, caring, safe kind of space, which might come in a lot at the start of the sales call, you know, in the active listening kind of phase. There's the queen energy. The queen energy is probably very much something that you're going to get into when you're objection handling at the end of the call, and working through that objection handle framework, and really helping people, you know, take action. The queen, you know, looks after her realm. She doesn't do anything selfishly. She makes decisions based on what her realm wants, excuse me, and needs. And as a result of that, it's a really powerful energy to get into when you're helping somebody take action on what they want and need, but don't potentially feel like they have access to in themselves right now, like getting over their own money shit, for example. The lover energy is an interesting one. It can be, you know, you could probably bring that in a bit into the vision making, inspiring, kind of adding the senses, the 5 senses to that vision, and really breathing oxygen and life into that in a kind of sensual kind of way. The sorceress energy, that's where that's that kind of magic energy. That's the energy where you kind of let the universe do it for you, you know, and that will be something that you're kind of bringing in throughout the space of after the sales call, and hold it, like just letting the universal energy know that this is someone that you want in your realm, and kind of holding that space post the call. So in the sales retreat, we actually go over these energies in depth. I tell you exactly what these energies do and don't feel like. I tell you whether you're overexpressed or underexpressed in one of those energies, and which ones you're going to need to bring up at which parts of the sales script. And also, it's a really transformational process to use when you are objection handling. And at the sales retreat, we go deep into objection handling. We role play. We just keep doing it. Like, we had this beautiful woman, Emma Morris, at our last sales retreat, and you know, she was in tears at one point around just the bravery it was taking for her to step up and kind of coach and help people through making a really powerful decision for themselves to change their lives with what she was offering them. And but it was super hard for her to shelve her own stuff, right? So that's the benefit of doing this retreat live and in person with me and Sarah, is just us holding the space for you while you break through your own crap, rehearsing this over and over and over in a safe space, until you can leave the retreat and you will have punched so far above your weight for that 3 days that walking out and picking up the phone is just going to be like second nature to you. That's the aim, right? It's just like walk out, feel so much better about everything that you're doing. You feel so much braver. You've got a structure and a framework that you can fall back on that's perfectly suited to your business. You've got a concern handling framework that you can run through. You get this beautiful book, actually. Let me show you the book. Hang on 2 seconds. This is the workbook that you get while you're at the retreat. You get all of the power types at the back, and we teach you all of those energies. We teach you our real framework for making really powerful transformational sales conversations. We get you really clear on exactly who your ideal client is, and we fill this out. We have different ways of wording that. Like Grace, actually, one of my other clients, was on our Q&A call yesterday. And she said that, like in the mentorship Q&A call, and she said that by coming to the sales retreat, she felt like everything that she'd learnt around understanding her marketing, lead generation process right through to delivery, she learned by learning how to talk about that properly in a powerful kind of structured way. She said she felt like she started doing everything better. The lead generation, the structure of her program. She felt like she really embedded that on a kind of, I don't know, like a cellular kind of level, so that now when she walks out to a networking event, she can kind of say really quickly, well, I work really well with 3 types of clients. When people, for me, like now, having done the work on my own business, obviously when someone, like my cousin was asking me yesterday, bless her, I don't know if you guys know this, but my cousin's Ash Pollard, who was on My Kitchen Rules, the crazy curly blonde-haired chick. And I love her because she doesn't actually know what I do for a living, and she thinks she does know. And so she keeps trying to coach me on how to do social media, even though that's my job. It's quite funny. Anyway, when she said to me yesterday, so what do you actually do? It was really easy for me to answer the question because I have my sales script, right? I work with 3 types of people. These are the types of people I work with. This is what I transform for them. This is how I do it, Yeah, so this sales structure really transforms the way that you talk about your business going forward. We also get into understanding exactly what your questions are that you need to ask, specific for your business, so you know the questions that you need to ask to get people to be a yes on your program, product, service. Otherwise, we explore a whole lot of emotions too, and in exploring those emotions, we explore them within yourself, but and coach you through those as well. And doing work with the power types brings up a lot of stuff for people too, so you can kind of identify where you might be projecting your own shit into the sales conversation. But this is a kind of framework that we teach you, an emotional exploration sort of framework, because a lot of the time people say it's one thing, but it's actually something much deeper. And if you can help them identify what that is, then it's you automatically become the expert on that too, right? We help you use this framework here about asking, it's the ask more whys kind of framework, and we help you across a way to kind of fatten out your line of questioning. So you might start here but go deeper and deeper and deeper, and we teach you a framework for going deeper on your questioning. And we get really clear on who your ideal client is from a kind of have and feel perspective, like their pain points, the tangibles, the intangibles, so that again you know what you're looking for and whether it's actually going to help you, help you discover whether there's somebody that you can help, so that this is all of this stuff takes all of the pressure out of the sale. Because if you treat it like just this kind of discovery process, then you'll very quickly know whether you can or can't help this person, right? And if you can't, then don't sell them something. But if you can, then you've got all the evidence to suggest that they'll get benefit. So that puts you in a much more powerful position to start asking for the sale. And then also what we're going to do is we're going to address your pricing. Now, most of you will have pricing that works for you, and that's really cool. But justifying that pricing sometimes feels hard and awkward and weird, right? So I want to take you through a process that I've worked out that helps you look at what you do and go, oh my God, it is of heaps of value, you know, because then it becomes a no-brainer to actually ask for that amount of money. And I'm also going to teach you at the sales retreat a little trick around how to get a yes on the actual program you want to sell, by having a few options and how to, and what order to kind of pitch those options in so that you get a yes on the one that you actually want to sell. So that's a whole lot of cool stuff that we're going to do together in those 3 days up at Kinglake. And it's the 18th to the 21st of November. It's going to be beautiful. There are only 12 spaces at the retreat, only 12. And there's 6 bedrooms. You have to be cool with sharing a bedroom. You don't have to share a bed, but share a bedroom with someone. The right people will be there. You will make lifelong friends, eat wonderful Victorian high country produce, drink nice wine, go for bush walks, get back in touch with nature, break through all of your mindset stuff as to why your business is not working as well as you want it to, and really get a launch off for 2020. Like I've said over and over this week, December is the biggest sales month of the year because people already have their wallets out. They're already looking to spend. They're on online stores all night, all times of the day and night. And when they, and then they're going to look at their bank balance. You know, you can remind them that they're going to look at their bank balance in January and go, oh my God, like, what, you know, what have I done? And they're going to want to get a result, right? On whatever it is. And so now is the time to get that money from them, because in January they ain't going to have it. So now, in the next 3 months is crucial. If you're getting you know, leads into your business now, learning how to sell to them at the retreat in November, and then getting on the phones for the rest of November and December, you are going to go gliding into Christmas and New Year just going, I'm cool. I'm actually cool. For one of the first years in my whole life, I don't have to hit the panic button in February because there's no fucking money in my bank account, right? That's what I want to save you from. Just this year. Just let me save you from it this year. So if you would like more information around our sales retreat and coming to it, please reach out on Messenger or comment on this post and say interested, and my team will get in touch with you. I'll get in touch, you will have a chat, make sure it's the right thing for you and where you're at. To be truthful, some people who have expressed interest in the sales retreat are better off doing some marketing with us first in order to get to the bottom of it. So we're not going to try and or if they're not ready, we're telling them they're not ready, right? So we're not going to push you into anything. Just like I've taught you this week, it's going to be a very very powerful conversation where we just get to the bottom of what's your next step, how can we take action, and how can we make 2020 a much better year for you. So reach out to us, let us know if you're keen to come, and it's been a pleasure spending this week with you. I'm getting taken out somewhere expensive tonight. Woo! All right, love you all. Toodle pip.